Whew, windy. Holy cow. Hey folks, how's everybody doing today? Thanks for coming along on this adventure. My name's Dave. Welcome to Van Camp 402. We are in my old stomping grounds. This is where I grew up. I spent a lot of time out on these gravel roads in high school. I just wanted to show you folks this. It's an interesting stop. As I'm walking up here, and sorry, I got the little microphone. The wind is just howling out here this afternoon. This set of stairs here is something we used to come out to and hang out. And it was always, we were always told that don't climb the stairs. They were haunted, horribly haunted, and that's going to tie into the next stop on our adventure today. I'm going to show you folks these stairs. We'd always come out and, you know, in high school, have some shenanigans out here. Kind of a cool place. So, of course, there must have been a church here, and this is the entrance to it. What's creepy is right behind it then, and I will not go up those stairs. What's right behind it then is, of course, the cemetery. And from my understanding, there's some folks buried here that may or may not have been hung from the place we're going to stop at next. There's a lot of good high school folklore in these hills of southwest Iowa. Let's head on to our next stop. Holy cow! My goodness, much better. Whew! Wow, it's good to be back in here. That cold wind, cold winter wind coming off those cornfields. This adventure, I just want to do something a little bit different. I do want to give you a good solid option if you were traveling on Interstate 80 for a place to stay. And that's where we're going to be tonight, is right off Interstate 80. Not a rest area. It is $15 a night, but you do get electric. So we'll go into more of that when we get there. But I just wanted to tell you folks a little bit more about me and give you a little bit of my history and where I'm from and how I grew up. We're just going to go on a little tour here of a couple of really cool spots. Should be a fun afternoon, should be a good adventure, and hopefully a great camp. I'm looking forward to this one. All right, on to our next stop. All right, let's do this. We've made it to our next stop. Sorry, I'm gonna try and, God dang, the wind's just howling. This is called the Tree in the Middle of the Road, and it has, from what I learned in high school, a very dark history. People try and claim that that isn't the case, but we always had our little folklore of things. But our understanding in high school was that this is where they would bring people out to hang. The local sheriff or anybody like that, you would meet at this marker. They've tried to debunk it, and I looked on Wikipedia. It actually has a Wikipedia page. It's pretty crazy. It's just right in the middle of these two roads that converge. But it's a pretty cool spot. We used to come out here almost every weekend and hang out. And that's what's interesting about it too, is it's probably 12 miles from Atlantic, where I grew up. And we didn't have internet back then. You know, it was just all word of mouth. Sorry, I'm just gonna hold this microphone here. It was all just word of mouth. We knew about this tree, and everybody had their own stories to tell about it. Like, oh, if you were out here at midnight, you know, high school stuff goes. But it's a pretty cool spot. And if you're on I-80, I can hear the interstate. It's only a mile off the interstate. The official word is that it was like a surveyor left a stick between Audubon and Cass County, and then a tree grew out of that stick. I don't believe it. It has its own little checkered past. So, and we were just at that cemetery. And, that was always the deal. You would come see the tree, and then you would go to the cemetery. Don't climb the stairs. Kind of cool stuff. So if you're out here on I-80, look for the Tree in the Middle of the Road. We have found it. As you can see, it's a really big old cottonwood, and you can just hear the wind whistling through it. But look how massive that tree is. Kind of a cool spot. It's miserable out. Miserable. What's cool about it, my grandpa was a pastor here. He was a pastor here when he passed away. I never did meet the man. Marvin Eulig is his name. He and my grandma just lived across the road here. Sorry, I got a farmer driving by. Would not be surprised if they don't stop and say, hey, can I help you? But right across the road used to be the parsonage, and that's where my mom grew up. So it's kind of a cool spot. So we also have had a few funerals here. My grandma's funeral was here. Marvin's funeral, I need to check. I believe it was here. And then my mom also got married in this church. So it's kind of crazy. I'm just out on a gravel road just north of Adair, Iowa at St. John's Church. And from my understanding, they're having a hard time keeping the church going, if it's even in use anymore. All right, let's keep moving on. Yeah, the temperature, my gosh, it's 26, which shouldn't be too bad, but man, that wind is just cutting. Oh my goodness. Why do they have all these windmills out here? I don't understand. Well, that was a little tour of my family history there a little bit. I grew up in Atlantic, not too far from here. Obviously, a lot of family in the area. Our little stomping grounds. It's good to get back. I always thought it was interesting. My grandpa, Marvin, was a photographer. He did, not paid or anything, but he did some of the coolest stuff. Do you guys remember, if you've ever seen them, they're the old like stereoscope. I don't know if that's not the right word. Project like a 3D image. You put these little glasses on and look at these pictures on, it was 2 slides. And we have a whole stack of all the stuff that my grandpa had shot, which is really cool. It's really interesting. I never met the man. He died, so I never got to meet the man or anything. And then what's interesting about that with me is my dad left before I was born. It just wasn't going to work out with my mom. My mom and my Aunt Lou, who you folks have met several times, and my grandma, those 3 pretty much raised me, and I was the only child. Interesting growing up. And we all have our growing up stories, and we've all made it this far, you know? It's what life's all about, right? We're gonna head into Adair, Iowa, and let's get into a camp. The campground in Adair is right off the interstate, and it's actually a city park. My fingers are crossed. I tried to call today, but I had to leave a message with the city that I never did hear anything back. So fingers crossed that there's power. If there's not, we gotta stay where there's power tonight. It is too darn cold. I'm not gonna just do a buddy heater to get through this. All right, let's try and skedaddle into Adair. All right, we've made it to our campsite. It's a little wonky. It's not super level. We're gonna give it the best shot we got. First thing I am gonna do is make sure that there's power out here. See what's going on. They have, oh, there's the envelopes right over there. That's where you're supposed to pay, is right on that door. Right there. And this is our beautiful view. All right, I just plugged in using my tried and true method with phone charger, and we have power. We are in. We are plugged in. Let's see. All right, let's get this squared away. How much is it to camp? Is it a donation? If you are in an RV, they've got a dump station here. I knew the restrooms were going to be closed. I'm just looking for a sign, and I want to say I thought it was $15 to stay here tonight. I'll have to poke around. I think there's just no signs that say. But we do have we've got our campsite for tonight. I'm excited. Plugged in and got power. I got to get that heater turned on. Whew, that feels good. It is cold out. Let's check the temperature real quick. We have made it to camp. It feels good to be off the road, just hanging out here for a second. I am going to get the front screens up. That heater, I got the, whew, look at that, 68 degrees. I've got the heater going really good, and it is very warm in here. But just for a little extra insulation, I need to get this filled out and put in the pay envelope. I believe it's 15 bucks, so that's what I'm gonna pay. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. Hold on just a second. That's what I wanted to tell you folks. If you're traveling across America, I-80 is one of our main corridors. Don't stay at that rest area. Right here, it's got a big wind fan turbine there when you, and I'm sure most of you folks have seen it. Most of you folks have been on Interstate 80. Pull into here, it's $15 a night. There's power, summer months, there's water and restrooms and a shower. So for $15 to stay in a campground, when you pull in, there's a Casey's and a Come and Go right here. There's also a restaurant, I want to say it's called the Chuck Wagon or something like that. We are not going to do that tonight. We have really cool dinner plans. Hold on, I'm getting texts. It's the Colorado boys. We have really cool dinner plans, and that's going to tie in with where we're staying here tonight. Should be kind of fun. Put this on your list. You're traveling across the country, Interstate 80, and you need a spot to hit for the night. I would say hit this one. I gotta get paid. Got our $15 cash. Anybody else have that deal? I don't like to lick envelopes. And I think I was scarred from that Seinfeld episode. Didn't George's wife, was it his wife or fiance, when she was licking the envelopes and it killed her or something? What a way to write a character off a script. Wow. Anyway, I have kind of a weird phobia about licking envelopes. I don't care to do it. These guys had a little peel off. Another thumbs up. All right, let's go get this squared away. So on a camp like this, I'm gonna do the windows, but not the little wing windows that we have there. I always like just to be able to kind of just peek out a little bit if I need to. And I'll have these curtains closed anyway. I just like being able to kind of stick my head out and see, okay, is there somebody at the side of the van? So a lot of times, so I'll do these, and I won't use these at all. And the main reason I'm doing any of it is for heat. Keep our heat in, and we are doing a good job. Yeah, we've cranked up to 71. I did a good job on my insulation. I'm gonna grab my big camera with a couple of lenses. I'm gonna leave my video camera here. I am gonna take my phone with me in case I catch anything video-wise to cover. But I think I'm just gonna go do a photo lap real quick. Looks like the light downtown is looking kind of cool. And I don't know if you could tell, shooting everything in black and white on this trip. And I'm gonna keep the black and white theme going with the photography tonight. We're gonna bundle up. I'm not quite ready for dinner yet. We're gonna bundle up and go hit the town with some photography tonight. So this marker says it was the site of the first train robbery. Anyone that's from Southwest Iowa knows the train robbery occurred, about 1.5 miles southwest of town. We'll talk about the train robbery more later. talk about dinner, shall we? So the Jesse James sign that they have over there, everybody knows where that train robbery occurred, and it was about 1.5 miles southwest of Adair, Iowa. On our way home tomorrow, we're gonna swing through there and I'm gonna stop and just show you. It's pretty contrived, leftover track that they left and a wheel. It's basically a sign. It's kind of amusing to me that they have a sign up here that says site of the Jesse James robbery, just because they know there's more traffic in this park and with I-80 and all that. Anyway, so for dinner tonight, hey, let me grab it real quick. So for dinner tonight, I was trying to think of what would an outlaw eat out on the trail. I was trying to think of like a cowboy meal, an outlaw meal to tie in with the Jesse James stuff. So we went with, oh yes, some stag chili. If you were a cowboy, isn't that what you'd be chomping on with your horse out on the plains? Why I like leaving these front windows open. I just heard a car door open and close behind me here tonight. So if you zip through here, then you just look, and in your mirror, having those little windows open, you can see kind of front ways, and then also you can see behind the van just by poking your head out by using the mirrors of the van itself. These little wing windows open and uncovered that gives me a really quick 360 of what's going on around the van. If I hear some car doors slamming or anything like that, something going on. A method to my madness. Well, I'm going to turn the heat down one. Since we have power, I'm going to go ahead and use the electric. I learned this from my buddy Mike, but why use my propane when I'm paying for their power? Let's see. I do have Monday Night Football going. The only thing I have to watch for when using this setup is blowing the breaker. Sorry, I'm getting my pan out. And like I said, with us just warming some chili up real quick, set that down. I do have Monday Night Football going, which is a blast to watch. It's kind of a crappy game, but let's get this chili going. Smells good. Always worry when I turn that electric on, because I know it zaps the power. So when I'm doing this stuff, I turn my heater down to low, so I'm not using too much juice that way. I think our chili is ready. Seems like it should be heated up enough. It's been boiling quite a bit. I've got a couple of pieces of bread here with margarine on it, and let's get into this. Let's see how our chili tastes. If I were a cowboy on the trail, I'd eat out of the pan. Oh wow, that's really good. But man, it's hot. Whew. Burnt my tongue. Doing the old taste test burnt my tongue. Stag chili. I like it. I didn't add a thing to this. This is really good. For canned chili, I would go with Stag. It's got flavor. The football game is absolutely horrible. Sorry, Pat. It's horrible. I'm gonna eat some chili here. Delicious. Well, good morning, folks. We didn't sleep too bad last night. 5 a.m. that viaduct where the train tracks are, evidently there was a need to move trains around a little bit this morning, and it was loud. It was shaking the van, and you could tell it like moved down. I could hear the engine, and then it moved back. So I was up for about a couple hours in there. Other than that, very solid sleep. It is cold outside. Let's get a quick check. It's saying 15 with a feels like of 11 right now. Pretty chilly out there. I just had to open the door for a second. It's definitely cold. Well, we have one stop we got to make on our way. Oh, actually, no, I'm sorry. We have two stops we got to make. We're gonna grab some coffee at. What do you guys think? Do we do Come and Go this time or Casey's? Your pick. I'll probably do Come and Go because it's on that side of the street when I pull out of here. And then, oh, also we have to stop at where Jesse James actually did rob the train. I was reading up on it a little bit last night. It said that they disrupt the tracks and then the train actually crashed, and one person was killed in that train crash, but then that was Jesse James's gang's first robbery of the Wild West. So he was an outlaw, and we had some outlaw chili last night. All right, I got to get a couple things packed up. Let's get on the road, shall we? Oh boy, we got some frosty windows this morning. Oh, it is chilly. All right, everything's picked up. Wasn't too terrible out there. It is cold. The wind's down a little bit, which is nice. If it was blowing at all, we would all be in trouble. All right, let's go get some coffee here real quick. The official site. Kind of a cool little marker. Actual train track is just up on top of this hill right here, and this is where they robbed their first train. That was a great camp. I definitely will give that 2 thumbs up. Would stay there again. And like I said earlier in the video, great place if you're on Interstate 80. $15 a night. It's a self-pay with power. All right, folks, we're going to wrap this one up. Thanks so much for coming along. Hope you enjoyed this adventure. Did something a little different with the black and white. Thought it was kind of cool. Just in honor of our outlaws out west. All right, we'll see you on the next adventure.